HODs to the Premier as the executive authority of the HODs, correct? That is what the public service regulations are saying. But when it comes to line department officials, we are no longer talking executive authority. We say the HOD must sign. Shouldn't we be saying that as the Premier is signing the charge sheet or whatever document for the HODs as the executive authority of the HODs, the same act should apply to the executive authority of the line department to do what the Premier is doing in relation to the HODs? Why do we now change and say that now the HODs should sign? I mean, we are running administration, we must run administration in terms of the administrative principles. We can't change this way when it comes to the Premier, and when it comes to the executive authority of a department, then we change, we say that the HODs must sign. For sure, 5 departments are under administration, but those departments are having executive authorities. The MECs are there. The powers of the MECs in terms of Section 101B have been taken over by the ministers who are executive authority. The disciplinary, central disciplinary pool of the DPSA, we are taking it, it is assisting the executive authorities of the 5 departments. Now, every document that arises from that of the line department, it must be signed by that executive authority. So, I think, and I'm happy that almost last week, every day, I was phoning the DG of the DPSA to say that one of the critical issues that we must address is to smoothen this process of how we should deal with these issues. And I'm happy that we are together. In fact, we should have met this week, but because of the blocking of the activities of this week, because we identified that is a matter of urgency. The second thing, as we say, it was a learning process, and where we make mistakes, we must acknowledge. In the process of implementation of this administration, because it was unprecedented, some HODs received letters that in terms of Section 101B, we have taken over. And some ministers did also indicate that in terms of Section 101B, we have taken over. And it is correct, it is not wrong. That is what Section 101B has said. Now, Chairperson, we will give you letters which were written to some HODs to say that we have taken over as accounting officers and as HODs. If you remember, the first administrator of education was Karodi. You remember the first sitting? His letter, it appointed him as an accounting officer and as an HOD. And it clearly said that the HOD doesn't have powers. Those are the mistakes we have done, and we must acknowledge them without pointing fingers. I like the question of saying, what is the actual problem? Because if we don't identify that as the actual problem that delays, well, we are used to be lambasted, unfortunately. It's painful. We have lived in this painful situation for the 12 months because every little mistake, we are lambasted, even to the newspapers. But we are hoping that government processes, including this process, should be able to say, here you made a mistake, you delayed the process, but let's find one another and address the process. If I had taken over, it's written, we will give you these letters, I know we will have them, but we will give them again to the committee. It is written that the HOD doesn't have any power. Now, without withdrawing that letter, remember, official, if we have written a letter official, we are working administration. Administration is working with documents. You must withdraw that letter officially to say that now I have taken over the powers of accounting officer and HOD. I am now giving you back the powers of the HOD in writing so that when I give you the charge sheet, if I have to sign, then I will not make a mistake. I will sign because we have taken back the powers. So we must accept we have made mistakes. And when if you are under administration, you don't have control. Anybody can say anything about you. But those mistakes were definitely not made by us. Now, and that's why we delay the process. You can remember administrator first character went and came, that process was delayed. Second administrator came, that process was delayed. Public works lawyers said those things we must take them into consideration so that we don't unfairly lambast the province unnecessarily. Now, the second